hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
Got mine right there. I feel threatened. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking this weekend or what to eat. But this week, it is beer. Kind of excited about it. I'm setting Sam Adams up for failure.
Uh-oh.
We'll see how it goes. TBD.
Troy sounds different.
Troy does sound different. Well, that's because we have a room full of one freshie and then one has-been.
Yeah. I'll own that. That's all good.
It's good to have you, Stu.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. And the freshie being the painter.
Oh,
I'm excited. Haven't had the painter here before.
The colors are crazy.
Yeah, howdy y'all.
Painter's a big fan of the Williamsburg Bear, which is all he had to tell me for me to know that I'm glad to have the painter in-house. Because the Williamsburg Bear may be one of my favorite stories of all time. So, it's a classic. Anytime Troy's ass is hanging out, it's like exciting.
Yeah, the visualization of that storytelling was a little disturbing for me, but you know, it's something that stuck with me forever. So that's what led me here.
That's good. That's good. That should be everybody's first podcast for Inside the Pallet House.
Definitely.
Start with the Williamsburg Bear and just be like, oh, these guys suck.
Like you can't turn it off. You just got to keep listening.
That's about right. It's like a slow speed car crash. It's something out of Austin Powers, if you will. So I'm excited to have everybody out here. Full disclosure, I had a few beers before the episode, so
I thought it was just one.
I'm in post deli form. I
only
think.
saw you have one on the porch.
That is what you saw.
Oh,
that's exactly right. Well, I'm also going through this. I got a vacation coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'm in cutting mode.
Oh.
So I'm trying not to overly eat.
Who are you getting sexy for?
That's a fucking great question, right?
I'm just asking.
Like, I'll be at the beach, and it'll be like the family and my wife, but like, I'll be damned if don't look good.
Right.
Like, that stays.
He doesn't want dudes to judge him as a fatty.
Well, you don't want. I mean, you get it.
Wants to turn some head.
Just getting the short shorts ready.
You got my chubbies. Mm-hmm. Living the dream. Oh. But I don't know why. It's just like I saw we were at that 2 week mark, and I was like, well, should probably stop eating snacks all the time.
Just drink these beers.
Oh, now it's all light beers. That's the big move in the drinking scene. And then I knew it was starting because last weekend I was like, well, I should probably have Coke Zeros and bourbon because I don't want to drink too much.
Doesn't it seem like the craft beer phase has, like the pendulum has swung
back?
Yeah. People are like, dude, I just got to do light beer from now on.
Definitely.
It's certainly easier to do. Well, at our age, you can't have a bunch of heavy IPAs all weekend and not come out looking worse.
I'm not an IPA guy. And I texted Dave prior to this, and I was like, are crappy light beers allowed, and are they going to make fun of me? And he said, absolutely not. I said, all right.
No.
Bud Light it is.
There you go. As long as it's 96 calories, right? I think everybody's trying to get 96 calories or less when they say light beer.
No, that's an ultra light beer.
Well,
Painter might have caught a couple strays. Walking in here with his Modelo Aura or whatever the fuck it is.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Just too cool.
What's happening? Yeah, bruh.
I read a stat the other day that the most, if you look at beer drinkers and who cheats on their spouses, it's Michelob Ultra drinkers. Number one most likely people to cheat on their spouses. And I thought about that for a second. I was like, that actually makes sense because you care so deeply. This is coming off of 2 minutes ago, me going, no, I'm only drinking light beers. So I get that made me look bad.
So maybe you're not cutting up for the dudes.
Ooh. Guy walks in a bar, he's drinking a Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, it's like a bad sign.
What was the pendulum swing? Do you remember who most likely not to cheat and what they were drinking?
Probably not drinkers.
Not drinkers?
I think if you're not drinking, that probably increases the likelihood of you not cheating.
You're a little more cognitive.
Yeah. I think just drinking in general puts you on the spectrum.
Oh, I thought you were saying like there was a like ultra drinkers are most likely to cheat, and the ones that are drinking heavy IPAs are the ones that are least likely to drink it.
Sure. That makes sense.
Point
That would
or
go
whatever.
the other way. Yeah.
Like mead drinkers are least likely to even have sex.
Yeah, meat drinkers are like probably got a pretty dope Clash of Clans clan going on.
Right.
You know?
Not a lot of availability at the Renaissance Fair.
I like this honey mead. It's really good.
Do you like honey mead and reenactments? Because that's where we're going today.
You know what I like? Masturbation and mead. Have a little M&M weekend.
The alliteration. I've never had mead.
That's the name of the
What does
episode.
the mead taste like?
Look, the painter's a badass. He's like,
Yeah.
I've never had mead.
That's just Bud Light, man.
Tastes like loneliness.
Oh, this one has a hint of tears.
And Dungeons and Dragons.
100%.
A lot of sides on this die. How the hell did we get here?
Oh man, there's a group of the guys. So there's a group of like
Imagine where this is going.
7 or 8 guys that come into the brewery every week on Thursday, and they pull 2 tables together and they sit there and they drink maybe 2 beers each a piece and play Dungeons and Dragons for 2 to 3 hours right there in the brewery.
How many guys?
Like 7 or 8, I guess is.
Enough for one table, but they still have hope, so they pull 2 together. Like some girl's going to come in and be like,
it's-
oh, you're a warlock?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like there's always at least 4 or 5 of them, but sometimes it's a little bit bigger, sometimes it's smaller. But yeah, I was like, well,
I would
interesting.
think the brewery would appreciate that. 16
think
beers
so.
sold
Yeah, but also filling up a table.
on a Tuesday night. I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
that
Like
seems
you come
perfect.
into a brewery and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Now you feel weird.
Exactly. You have some energy, even if it's, Napoleon Dynamite energy. People are going to be like, oh, there's people here. Cool.
Yeah,
I agree.
it took me the longest time because I'd never played Dungeons and Dragons. I'd never looked at it. Didn't even realize what it was until I was like, what are these guys doing? And I had to walk by it a couple times and finally saw like the card saying, oh, Dungeons and Dragons. I wouldn't know what to do with that game if you put it in front of me, to say the least.
All right, Dave, what is the nerdiest thing you've done while drinking beers?
Oh, I'm on the spot. I don't know. While drinking beers.
Or anyone? I've played Risk before.
Dude, Risk is not.
Risk is dominating
Risk
the
is,
world.
yeah, I was just saying, I like Risk. Risk is conquering. And I'm
Got your
winning.
dice. You're like
Yeah.
invading
Because the best is when you say,
Africa,
I'm
whatever.
taking Kamchatka.
Kamchatka.
This podcast is probably the nerdiest thing I've done while drinking beer.
Objection! Hearsay!
I mean, I only drink at parties. I don't drink like after mowing the yard or after work. I only drink in social scenes. So
Seriously?
yeah, I'm like the alcoholic that has control 4 days a week.
I mean, I guess my wassail was pretty dorky while drinking. Chasing off those evil spirits through song.
I mean, did you have mead?
Cider. Not a nerd. Little n, lowercase n, dude. Nerd. That's some nerd shit.
All right, guys, I'll be at the meadery. Just bring the Dungeons and Dragons. I'll be over there.
I've definitely been to meaderies.
I don't know. I think nerdiest thing I probably would do is I'd grab some beer, crank up the Sonos, and watch like the YouTube channel that has all the intro for sound. Like, if you have a Sonos sound system, or if you have
like the Dolby
THX or
Atmos
Dolby
test
there's a
pattern?
whole and I'll sit there and just watch like an hour or more of this the 15-second to 45-second sound like.
All right, Stuart. Stuart wins.
I know. I think I got one. I got one.
Beat that?
I was thinking about it. So when I was in college, when I lived in the fraternity house, I used to pack my backpack with like a handful of beers, and I would tell all the frat brothers that I was going to the library to study because it was just too loud here.
I know this one.
And then I would sneak off to
I
these,
think I
these
know what it
girls'
is.
houses, and I would watch the OC with them and drink beers.
And other shows.
No, just the OC.
No, there were other ones.
No, because I was never a 90210 guy.
No, there was some other like.
Oh, I'm a Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what it was. It was Dawson's
Dawson's
Creek.
Creek.
Yeah.
It was Dawson's Creek. You're absolutely right. Good memory on you. But I would sneak out.
I've
to go
actually
watch
heard that
Dawson's
story
Creek.
from a different perspective.
Oh, you know the girl whose house I would
Yeah.
sneak over
Yeah,
to.
she was like, "We always thought he was gay."
That's not accurate.
Okay.
That's not
It
accurate.
also explains.
Maybe he was.
Objection! Hearsay!
It also explains.
The
his-
only reason I knew that girl is because I dated her friend for 2 years.
Okay. I mean, there
Really?
never
They-
been
they
guys
thought-
that were married to a female that came out gay
She
later.
thought that girl was a beard. Like she thought I had a beard the whole time.
Or you're confused.
Well, I am confused.
Or experimenting. It's exploration, you
I
know.
was experimenting with Dawson's Creek.
And
For the
me.
record, I'm a pacey guy.
It explains Brendan's affinity for fighting gravity.
That's neither here nor there. And I didn't know.
Exhibit B, Miata.
Miata's dope, dude. It's got a supercharger. That's manly.
So in the legal world, we've got 3 instances. We've got Dawson's Creek, we've got fighting gravity, and we got the Miata.
Wait, what's the fighting
I don't
gravity?
think fighting
story?
gravity means anything.
Some ska.
I didn't think. See, Sky is cool.
No,
Thank
he
you.
can- I'll let him explain if he wants to.
This isn't awkward. Thanks, Stu.
Hey, on the spot.
Good lead in. So there was a time in my life where I thought Fighting Gravity was like the next big ska band. And I think there were a lot of us in the 90s who were confused about the talent level of Fighting Gravity. So I would go see them a bunch. And I would see them in various places like Northern Virginia and back here. And then there was one day they were at Radford and I went and saw them and I was in the front row and I was
Mission Bells was playing. You're just going,
I was going
bonkers.
off. Yeah. I was like I'm not
Horn sections back there blaring. You're like, man, this is
things were
shit.
good. Things were good. And the lead singer keeps like singing at me and pointing at me.
Shivani McGee.
I know.
Do you know the guy?
I do.
Okay.
So I'm a drummer, and Mike Boyd was the drummer of Fighting Gravity, and he was my drum instructor for a year and a half.
Nice.
Okay, then you can
Before
answer
I was
the
a
question.
painter.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is the lead singer of Fighting Gravity bi?
I never asked, but I kind of was like, oh,
He probably
no.
wasn't until you were in the front row.
That's right.
And it moved.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
this
And then
is-
he was checking you out, obviously.
So this has been, but hold on.
maybe
this
you
is,
converted him.
has this been debated?
I've not heard, and I never asked.
But you never known
never came
him-
across your
never
mind.
known him to date anybody.
No,
So asexual would be your guess.
I'm not even sure I have a guess. I was like, I don't know. Oh, I would just didn't want. Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. Neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that you even had to don't ask, don't tell. Neither here nor there.
There you go. Well,
So
I was just blown away that like I would go into their studio because they'd be in there like recording or something, and I would get my drum lesson in there, and I was just like so starstruck with
I
the fact
agree.
that I was with this cool ass band that I thought was going to be like the next, like you said,
Yeah.
like
I
they're
couldn't
going to
agree.
get signed. They're so talented. This is
They're the
amazing.
best. They
And it
had
was like
it.
the curse of Richmond showed
The
up.
next
and,
boss
and
town.
just
Yeah.
you know,
unfortunately, I mean that is kind of what happened to them, and I
Yeah.
thought they were it. So I'm at a show and I'm dancing, I'm having a blast, and
He took you on stage like Bruce Springsteen and Courtney Cox. And
yeah,
you're dancing.
yeah, you get the dance.
I got it.
Yeah. Little dancing in the dark. Things are looking good. So there was like the pause in the music, and like where I'm back getting a beer, and he rolls up next to me, and he's like, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, "What's up?" I was like, now I'm starstruck, you know, and I was like, "Man, I just saw you a couple weeks ago." And he's like, "In Herndon," and I was like,
Uh-oh.
"Yeah." And I was like, "Man," I was like, and then I caught you the other day over here, and he's like, "Yeah,"
Uh-oh.
and he told me the place, and I'm like, "Fuck!" I was like, "This is my guy." Like he knows.
it
Like,
is your guy.
like, where's my guy? And then so he's
Might be
like,
your guy later.
yeah. So, well, that's ironic. You say that. So he says, he was like, "Yeah, man, I saw you down there tonight and I was so excited to see you." He's like, "It's great to see you." He's like, "Man, we should go party on the bus." And I'm like, "We should party on the bus. Why would we not party on the bus?" So I'm like fired up, you know, I'm like excited. Like, I'm gonna go party with Fighting Gravity. Like, but apparently like, it wasn't going to be with Fighting Gravity. It was just like me and my boy. We were going to like party together. And I was super excited about this. And then my buddy taps me on the shoulder and he's like, "You're getting a little close." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "My man's hitting on you." And I'm like, "No, he's a rock star and he's totally straight." And they were like, "No, you should not go on that bus." And I was like, "Oh, like this is a thing." And so I never got on the bus.
How did you do that? Because deep down in the back of your head, you're like, but it's probably not. And I really need to get on that bus.
I don't know. There was, you know, there's Rockstar, and then there's like, you know, I don't want to. I didn't cross that bridge.
Now, how did you know there would not be other people on the bus?
I don't. But the way he was talking about it, he's like, we could steal off to the bus, Like the band was coming back on in a little bit. I don't know, dude. The whole thing was weird. And like, does he expect him to be so good?
Oh,
It was
you
only gonna
mean
take 5 minutes?
like party on the bus between sets?
Dude, he was like, let's go to the bus.
Oh,
Like, let's go. And I was like, hell yeah. Like, this sounds fucking dope. This is going to be a great story for the encore. I didn't go. But
you mean the climax?
it's called an encore. God damn.
Potato.
Yeah. Creamy potatoes. But I didn't go. But then I was like, when I heard that, I was like, oh no. So like, I like backed away. I think I broke his heart because they didn't really go anywhere after that. I think his muse had left.
And it was all downhill from there.
But he literally, he literally did rattle off like 3 shows that I was ready to tell him, and he knew every show in the last 4 months.
It was
that
the
I've been
lasting impact, man.
at. Apparently, I got dance moves.
The magic.
But so yeah, thanks for bringing that up though, Stu. Because
that was great. It's a great story.
No, it's super fun.
Yeah. We
I
all
like
needed
that.
that.
I like that. It's already hot in here, and now I'm like, I'm like red.
Now I'm nervous.
I met 311 through a mutual friend who knew them from Omaha when they came to Farmville in like 95. And she's like, we're going to go party with them. I'm like, that sounds awesome. So went out there, met them right after the show at their bus. And I was like trying to get on the party bus. And they're like, we're hanging out for like 4 minutes. They're like, so do you have any more questions for us? I'm like, no. And they're like, see you later.
I've managed to get like backstage with a handful of different bands over the years, and I find that most of them treat you as such.
Right.
They're like, okay, well, you did manage to steal a beer from us, you prick. Roll on. The only band that was ever cool to me, Carbon Leaf, definitely was like, have a seat, like, let's hang out.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Like, got to hang out. And now I'm since then become friends with them. But that was like, they were cool.
Yeah.
They actually.
Meanwhile, the White Knight like parties with every band he ever meets.
Yeah, but I've been with him with a handful of those party situations, and I can't take shots like that. Like, it's always just like shot. And I'm like, okay, you guys are rock stars or possibly on something else where you can do this, and I can't. And I'm like, I end up regretting things. Jimmy's Chicken Shack was that way back in the 90s.
Yeah. And we went and saw him again.
Yeah, saw them.
That was the Taco Bell run night.
I hate when stories come up and you don't know anything about what that story is. They're like Taco Bell run night. I'm like,
The big tall guy and I went through the Taco Bell
He's-
drive-through.
he's-
You remember you didn't go in. Well, we went in. You didn't go to. Didn't go to the bar. Didn't go to the bar with us. And then afterwards, we stopped the bus and we took up everything that Taco Bell had after seeing Jimmy's Chicken Shack
I do know that night.
down
Okay,
down at the
that makes
National.
sense. Not great pod, but good.
No,
good story. we'll leave that at that.
leave that
Anybody else here have dope band party stories? Anybody done a little nearly famous type shit?
I've got a
Almost famous?
Do
I mean,
you
I
guys
know a
remember
couple
the? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Do you remember the band Puddle Duck? In
Love
Richmond?
Puddle Duck.
Okay, and they
Love
were
Puddle Duck.
weren't they JMU? I can't remember.
I don't know, dude. But
So I had friends that were. I dated this girl, and she was all friends with them or whatever, and I was like trying to be their drummer at one point, right? And so they. This is gonna go in a wrong direction for a second. But the bass player had like jammed with us a couple of times in my basement. I used to live on Stewart next to Buddy's, right? And so anyway, step back a weekend, and we go out downtown. My buddy's brother's in town. He doesn't drink, so he drives us all down there. We're in a 4Runner, and we're driving back, and we turn on Robinson, and we're letting somebody out of the car. So we're sitting there parked as the person gets out, and we just get completely rear-ended. And bam! And we're sitting there, and we're like, "Oh my god!" And it's a hit and run. They back up, and then they just floor it and start running stoplights. And we look up there, and we're like, "It's a teal Acura Integra with 30-day tags on it," and they're just gone. And so police show up, and we're like, "Hey, wait, sober driver, all this stuff." And Richmond police, of course, are like, yeah, good luck. And we're like, okay,
Precisely.
whatever. Yeah, so the next day, the bass player from Puddle Duck is in my basement at my apartment, and we're sitting there playing, and I was like, hey, guys, by the way, if you see a wrecked teal Acura Integra with 30-day tags on it, that asshole hit us, and yada, yada, yada.
oh no.
So The guy goes home and then calls me about 2 hours later. He's like,
That was me.
"You will not believe this. There's a wrecked teal Acura Integra on my block parked out in front of us." And
No way.
I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And it's so we called the wrecker shows up and yanks the car off the street, takes it to be impounded. The dude shows up to get the car and they arrest him immediately.
No way.
Yeah. Damn.
So Puddle Duck CSI'd this shit?
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I was hoping it was going to be the lead singer.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
I was hoping the bassist just sheepishly walked out, left his bass as fucking.
I have Puddle Duck's insurance information if you need it.
Right. So,
Yeah,
so
they
the
were
moral
great.
the moral of the story is don't hit and run because that shit will catch up with you.
Yeah, they used to headline my fraternity parties. Like
Nice.
Puddle Duck is like college band
Yeah.
for me. Like
And-
absolutely love them.
So the painter and I are the same age, I guess, but Cracker and everything, they would always play up.
Yeah,
Tech and Rapper.
everything. Yeah,
They
man.
played. They're fun
I
bands.
saw a lot of everything. And we had, oh man, what were the other ones? Well, Dave Matthews was still not huge and would play around. And he played Flood Zone in Richmond every Wednesday or whatever.
Look at us reminiscing about bands that no one knows about.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Fighting Gravity. Fighting Gravity used to open up for Dave Matthews, I feel like sometimes. Here and there.
they did.
Well, back.
I could have been on that bus.
Damn.
Dave was already back there.
Blew it.
So, like, so to your, trying to get backstage or being backstage with artists and getting on the bus and all this stuff. My youngest daughter, she is experiencing something that, a lot of people pay a lot of money for, but her best friend, her dad is a very well-known local DJ here in Richmond, and on the countryside, but she goes with her best friend to every single, all the Chris Stapleton, Jamie Johnson, Jason Aldean, Morgan Wallen, all these guys. She's been backstage getting pictures with them. I'm like, you need to enjoy this because when you get older, you end up paying, unless you know somebody, you're paying through the nose to do exactly what you get.
Or through your legs.
Well,
Not as an older.
Dave, you ruined it.
No
for
one
me.
wants it.
Damn.
I'm talking about when she's like 24.
It was so positive.
It's going to be a,
Just-
it's gonna be a
just took
lot different than a
nosedive.
15-year-old back there. Unless it's Elvis.
Wait, what the fuck?
Wow.
You know that's illegal.
I'm not a fucking country music star.
You think country music stars are just pedos? It's like got some explaining to do. I'm a little concerned about you, Dave.
I mean, who's the most famous country rock artist ever?
You're going to go all the way back to Elvis and you're going to start making pedo conversations?
14-year-old? Come on.
But they were related.
Yeah. Everybody knows two wrongs make a right.
Come on.
Come on. That's just science, dude.
There's exceptions to the rule.
There shouldn't be. Fuck me. What? I'm trying to just figure out how to get out of this. I don't even know how
I
to
want Stuart to finish his story and see where it goes.
That story's not going to be finished for a couple years. And I don't want to I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear how it goes. What were you? I'm gonna pivot right to you, Dave. I'm gonna throw it back at you.
Well, wait. Did I ever tell you about the time we met Robert Duvall?
No, that's weird. Okay.
So a family friend is friends with him, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to watch the Kentucky Derby with Robert Duvall and his wife?" We're like, "Fuck yeah!" We were living up in Northern Virginia, so we went over there, and the guy was like, "Look, he does not want his fame acknowledged. He just wants to be a normal guy." And so it's like, okay. So we get to his house, and normal guy still has a receiving line, like walking and shaking his hand, like, "Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you."
That's just a good host.
And then it gets to Joy, who's the last person, and again, trying to be cool. she grabs his hand and she's like, bows down. She's like, "Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I'm such a big fan." And he's like pulling his hand away from her.
Oh no!
Damn.
Fucked it all up.
Yep.
Let's. My senior year in high school.
Jesus, we're still
no,
going.
seriously. My senior year in high school was valeting at the Country Club of Virginia, and Michael Stipe from REM was attending a wedding that was happening. Don't know who the wedding was for, but anyways, he got out of the car. I knew exactly who it was immediately, and I was like, went up to him and I said, "Hey, I'm a big fan." And I shook his hand, and he's like, "Thanks a lot." Goes to the wedding. He's in there for 3 or 4 hours. And I'm like, shit, he's got to come out at some point. I want to get his autograph. So I'm scrambling to get a piece of paper, whatever. He comes back out and I'm like, and he's walking to his car, and I said, "Hey, can I get your autograph?" And he's like, "I don't sign autographs for people's hands I've already shaken." And I was like,
Respect.
"Damn,
He
okay."
remembered you.
Well,
did. That's
and
right.
I was like, "You just either." I was like, "Damn!" The fact that he remembered that he shook my hand, and I guess he wasn't partying hard, but I was like, "All right, not a problem. I appreciate it. Take care."
So we were walking through Charleston.
We're just doing famous people stories. I got plenty more.
This one time I was at a meadery.
Now I know you're lying.
In Charleston. And the Fighting Gravity guy was there and he was checking me out.
Sweet.
That was the story?
That's awesome.
That motherfucker. He sucked me in, dude. I just threw my notebook. Painters, too many fumes in there.
He got you with 2 lies.
Yeah, dude.
What I'm saying is you're not that special. That's just what I'm saying.
I am special. I meant, all right.
There's a chart. Brendan's on there.
I was
Special somewhere.
doing this. I
Top 100.
I had to park cars at Mark Rippon's birthday party, like back in the day
Wow.
when he was like the man, like when they were like the Redskins were like Super Bowl champs. And
What'd you say?
I was they
you
were
were.
the Redskins.
Yeah.
It would be disingenuous if
Okay.
I said
Okay.
anything else.
The Hogs.
I got to meet some of the Hogs back then. It was like, in fact, one of them motherfuckers showed up in a Porsche 911. I'll never forget this. And he couldn't fit all the chicks in his car in his 2-seater. So he had a girl on
Nice.
one giant thigh and he's managing to shift in between her legs as he pulls up. And the other girl's over there and they're drinking champagne in the car as he pulls up. And I was like, you're cool. That dude's all right. But I remember we went, we did this whole party. Like I helped park cars and everything. And then I'm inside and I'm like bussing tables. I'm doing all this shit. And at the very end of it, my buddy went to go get Mark Rippon's autograph and like rolled up like a football. And Mark Rippon was like, get the fuck away from me, kid. Like we've been working
Damn.
all night. I was like, get the fuck away from me. And Chip Lowmiller, the kicker, saw that shit. And he came over to us and he was like, hey guys, I don't mean to interrupt. I know you're super busy, but like, could I get your autograph? And the way he did it was so cool that like, it kind of took the sting out of all the shit Mark Rippon did. So as far as I'm concerned, Mark Rippon's a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
But Chip Lowmiller, that's a kicker to be reckoned with.
Shit.
Nice.
Love Chip Lowmiller.
Low Miller.
The rest of them can all fuck off, except for them linemen. Boy, howdy, those dudes had it going on. I never seen such a fat man with so many hot women in a Porsche. Like he crammed him. The clown car.
Wolf of Wall Street.
The clown car of tits. It was, to me, it was like the most amazing thing I'd ever seen.
Hogs.
To the Hogs.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Which should have been the name of that team. Should have just called them the Hogs.
Yeah.
That shit was
Those guys were, because what, it was 4 of them on the offensive line they had forever, or the defensive line?
It's offensive line, right?
Yeah, I think the Hogs were offense. So it would be 5 of them.
Yeah, because of
The
the
center's going to count.
right.
Yeah.
Unless you don't count the center. Which that dude, I don't even know who that dude was. I just know he was a big giant man with way more ass than I'd ever seen. He had him all crammed into a 2-seater. And it was like, you're cool.
Damn.
Just chugging champagne. I like him. Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
The fuck is hashing? I have it written down, but I still don't know what it is.
I got to observe my first hash at the family reunion because one of our cousins is like a Guinness World Record hasher. But you've never heard of it?
No, I don't even know what this is.
What is hash?
I know hash was popular in the 60s and 70s.
Nope.
That's hashish.
That's all I know. I don't know what hash is. Oh, you like hash browns? This dude ate the most grilled potatoes.
So like pre-world, one of the world wars, some British soldiers in Malaysia started a running and drinking club, and they would call it.
Which culture did they
hashish.
steal that from? Because you said British soldiers, so I'm just assuming
the
that
Irish.
They did not fucking motherfucking.
It always happens.
There was no
in the
fighting
Irish.
though, so they made it a little bit more British. Like,
Yeah, they'd already stolen everything,
Right.
raped and pillaged. Fucking Brits.
but anyway, they
I have opinions.
they did this thing where they would have one person be a hare and the rest be hounds, and the hare would make a trail through woods and waterways and whatever, and the hounds would try to find the trail and catch them, and there'd be false trails and all this other stuff.
So it's tag.
Well, no, because then once a hound catches the hare, that hound becomes the hare.
Yeah, so tag.
It's a bunch of
It's the definition of you're it.
yeah, I guess that counts. I stand corrected.
Okay, so they invented tag,
But
and
I think
called it hash.
But I think it
Fancy
basically
British name.
I think it's basically become someone sets up a trail with fake trails and whatever, and they aren't doing tag anymore.
What is the goal of this? Like
to
all right,
drink?
Oh, I did not see that coming. Because all right, hold on.
So it's
Let me get-
parkour with booze.
So I create
Little
a
steps.
trail through the
Yeah.
woods, and then I create fake trails, and the goal is to get you from point A to point B. But I'm giving you false routes.
Yeah, and then
during
there'll be areas where you stop and have to everyone chug a beer, and you get to another spot and everyone sings a song while drinking a beer. Then you get to another spot and everyone has to jump in the water or what? I mean, just silliness. It's kind of like
It's British.
it's kind of adult D&D. You know, it's a
Okay.
little nerdy, but
So who decides who the person is who gets to go blaze the trail and the false trails?
I don't know for sure. But in this instance, it was the experienced hasher who set it up, and I have to imagine different people take turns doing it, but I don't know.
How long of a run are we talking?
Well, it was a 4-mile trail, but they probably ran like 6 or 7 because of false trails
trails.
and other excursions. Like they had to get to the Dan River, and everyone had to blow up with their mouth an inner tube and float across the river or paddle across the river.
Oh, I didn't know what. I saw those photos of that. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
This is ludicrous.
It is ludicrous, but
question-
it's super popular. It's,
Do you come back drunk? Like, is there enough drinking on this?
There were
journey?
drunk people there. I was also at the reunion. By
well,
the
if you're
Okay.
if you're not drunk by the time you finish, then they party afterwards.
But my question is, you got to be running the entire time? Like it's a jog, like it's a run, or is it like you can just walk the trails?
You
and
can
figure out
you
where
can just walk it, but I think
Okay.
the people that are really into it will jog lightly.
So
It's non-competitive.
it started
Okay.
as a tag, but it now is more like a capture the flag.
No,
You have to
now
get
it's
to-
just more of a let's go out and get muddy and
But how do you know
sweaty.
when you've reached the end? Like, how do you know when is there a pot of gold? Just a case of beer?
I think they might just finish it at a meeting spot, at a pub or at a field or whatever.
Did anybody get caught in this instance? Like, did the hare get caught by the hounds, or is that just?
No.
I think
not
that's
a-
gone by the wayside.
Yeah,
it's gone by
I think
the wayside.
it
pretty
started
sure
that
that,
way.
pretty sure that's gone by the wayside. But
No.
they also have like a lot of innuendos, and you know they're just really silly, for lack of a better term. They all earn nicknames, and they often are double entendres. And
So the big question is, did you have fun?
I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it. Oh, okay. I thought you did.
I observed.
He doesn't hash. He's not a hasher.
Not a hashy, sir.
Yeah, I'm not ready to do cardio yet.
We haven't crossed that bridge.
Yeah, and this one was more tame because it was a family. The family reunion had 50 people there or something, and there were probably 16 that
Participated.
So
participated.
from
in
the
this,
time the 16 nerds left, how long till they
including
returned?
my 2 kids.
Okay, so 14 nerds and 2 cool kids.
I think it was
What am I fucking?
two
Splitting
hours.
hairs.
You got offended real quick.
1 and 1/2 cool.
It was probably 2 hours or 3 hours.
Oh, that's a legit.
No, it was long, and it was hot, and everyone was sweaty, and
But how do they have beer? Is there beer at checkpoints?
well, that's like the people that take it seriously. They will haul out coolers like at mile 1,
Because
and
I was like, yeah,
When you
where's
find
the beer come from?
when you find a cooler, does that indicate you're on the right path? Like if you've been going down this path for a
Obviously.
while and there's no beer, you're like, this is a false path, and you run back.
I'd put the biggest cooler of beer at the false path. At the end of the false path, and you just
Well, that
you're
could-
stuck.
that might have happened. I didn't get a lot of details. I just-
Purgatory.
I
Sorry,
just
you
knew
have to
my
sit here
son
and drink.
drank like 4 beers in 2 hours, which was probably the most he's ever had.
And then he had to run.
As he was running.
Yeah, that is a formula for vomiting.
Yeah. Running, heat, and beer.
So
This might get me into cardio.
explain the award slash superlative type object things that were in the photo.
Oh, yeah. So-
I heard about this from your son briefly because he was like dirty baby.
Yep.
And he had a dirty baby doll. It was I didn't
So the
I didn't get the story on that.
the person that set it up brought like this big, reusable shopping bag just filled with junk. And apparently a lot of the junk is stuff that they've found on other trails. And they're like, all right, everyone grab something out of this bag. And one kid pulled out a kickstand for a bike. My son,
Dude, I'm looking for a kickstand.
my son pulled out a,
it's a long
it's
story.
yours.
Yeah, my daughter just came home and was like, hey, the brakes don't work. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I went out and I'm like, brakes are fine. I was like, hey, where's the kickstand? She's like, well, I lost it. There's the brakes that hold it up. I was like, that's not a brake. You had me worried for your life. But it turns out you just somehow lost the kickstand. She's like, yeah, I don't know. How does a kickstand fall off a bike and you don't even notice?
you don't tighten it.
But it's going to make a hell of a racket.
They're teenage girls.
I understand. the
Screws fall
inherent
out.
problem.
It's an imperfect world.
I'm just a little frustrated because now I've got a bike with no kickstand, and she's like, "The brakes are shot." I'm like, that's not how that works. Sorry, I digress. But do you have the kickstand?
Oh, that was my nephew, and his nickname is Kickstand.
All right. Well, holler at kickstand. Let him know I need a kickstand.
I think they put it back. I think they gave him all the items back at the end.
Oh, great. Can't catch a break.
But yeah, so that is a thing, and they have a Richmond house or whatever that is very active. I've seen pictures on their Facebook. I think they have like 30 people that do it, and I think they do it once a week. We should do it.
They go hashing,
Yeah.
but I can't run.
I really think running is secondary to everything else.
I think if there's a mission, though, like if there were cops chasing me, I'm a hell of a runner.
It sounds like the end of the mission is basically to get out. Like I can imagine like being in a garden maze and there's
No,
false
I think-
ends or something. You
I
just want to
think
find
it's-
a way to get out.
I think it's the journey is worth more than the destination.
Right.
I think this is essentially just like frisbee golf on 2.5 speed. It's basically what I'm picking up.
I think there's less skill involved in this.
Do you have 2 legs? You can play.
I'm in.
I do like the idea of having the cops involved somehow with like maybe it's a moonshine run or something.
Yeah, you come down the wrong path, and now it's like I'm gonna kick your ass if I catch you. And I haven't been running, so like I'm ready to go. He's a different level.
One of them, a bunch of cops ask you for your ID, and you cannot say yes.
Just
You
make
just
it
have
a
to
problem.
decline. See how that works out.
I like this. The end. If you get all the way to the end of the wrong path, it's a whooping.
Oh shit! Another false trail.
But if you tag me, now I got to start running from you.
Maybe there's a fake ending and you walk into this bar and it's nothing but a bunch of dudes drinking Michelob Ultra, like,
With your wife.
with your wife.
You're like, no! False ending! Curses.
Damn it. This is the wrong place.
Son of a bitch. I'm not supposed to be here.
One of them ends backstage at a Boy Oh Boy show.
Oh, no!
Brendan's bar is the Blue Oyster.
With the missing kickstand.
Yeah, we need to put, worse ramifications on this. Then the false path really becomes a problem.
When you got hit on, were they still Boy Oh Boy, or did they change to Fighting Gravity?
Nah, we were the real deal, man. Fighting gravity.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy. No way.
I thought maybe your lack of museness made them change their name.
Nope. Just made them fail.
Were they drinking Michelob Ultra? That's
Curses.
They invented Michelob Ultra.
What is the curse of Richmond? I mean, I get what you're getting at, but is that a thing that people talk about?
I mean, the bands don't. Guar is our biggest band.
Yeah, and all the other people were kind of in Richmond, like Jason Mraz is Mechanicsville, so that doesn't really count.
But we can count him.
But like
Pat Benatar kind of came through Richmond and lived briefly, and then but she wasn't a Richmond product. But it's like all of the amazing bands that we had in the '90s, none of them ever went anywhere. It was just like, well, why? I don't understand. It's
I
just,
think what's her name? The lead singer from Voices Carry or Till Tuesday.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not a song- she went to Midlothian High School.
Amy Mann.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Midlow. Nice.
yeah, and then shit, I lost my train of thought. Continue.
So we have a couple outliers. Jason Mraz from the outskirts of Richmond, from the country, is probably our closest thing. But Guar,
Yeah.
I think Guar we can claim. Guar is like legit.
But like Pat McGee, he would have been good, but I think Dave stole his thunder because they came up like around the same time.
Right.
I think Guar is only legit because they were on like those TV talk shows, like Jenny Jones or whatever.
I just remember when I was like a kid and I wasn't living in Richmond. It was like you would get. It was the same dude that had like the faces of death.
But were you
On
living in
VHS.
Virginia?
Yeah.
What's that? I was in Virginia.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if, but for the talk show circuit that they did like in '90, did anyone outside of Virginia really know about them?
Well, they were just known for the gore
Right.
and not the music, but the stage show was certainly famous. And I think it was passed around by the Faces of Death crew. They were like, "You got to check this out. This dude comes everywhere."
Well, they probably had a pretty
blowing
good
on everybody.
like underground following across, the country maybe or something. Like
yeah, I
you
think
were
that's
into that.
probably
yeah.
our biggest. Unfortunately, that's as big as we got.
So was Faces of Death from Richmond?
No,
that-
I'm just saying
okay.
it was the same dude that would be like, "Hey, you want to cry?
Check this out.
You want to not be able to sleep for a couple of days? Watch this." And then you see a bear maul a dude. And you're like, "Fuck me, man!" And then you can't sleep. And you're like, "That sucked." Like a monkey getting bashed in the head. It was horrible. But then that same dude would be like, "You got to see this. There's going to be blood everywhere." And then you watch it because you're sleeping again. You're back. You figured it out. And then you watch Guar.
So Dave Grohl is from Virginia.
Yeah, but Springfield.
Yeah, I mean Northern Virginia is just kind of like
Doesn't count.
Different.
DC.
All kinds of shit came out of Northern Virginia.
They should just expand the border and encompass Maryland and Northern Virginia, and then be one big DC.
Yeah, but then it loses some of its charm.
Plus,
you know
it was
what I mean?
Kurt Cobain's band anyway. I mean, you can't really count the drummer.
Yeah, but after he killed Kurt,
What?
Is that what happened?
oh yeah, dude, Dave Grohl had the first fentanyl hookup in the U.S. You guys didn't know that? This is how he made all his money.
I thought it was Courtney Love.
No, Courtney Love was who he fucking blamed, and everyone was like, "Yeah, Yoko did it." I think that's the trick.
What are the odds I got the right side?
Probably Slim. No, he's
No, I did. I'm saying.
nailing it. All right, I'm excited about
Stu's
it.
talking about beer, by the way.
Blueberry lager.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is
So
going to be awful.
I've got a problem with.
Slow down, Painter. Slow down.
So I've got this thing, right?
blueberry lager.
I love blueberries. I absolutely love blueberries. I think they're fantastic. The problem is that when you put them in beer, it never translates. The closest approximation I've seen is that, damn, what's the dog? Oh, Sea Dog. It's like a dog with a yellow fisherman's cap on his head. They're out of somewhere up north, and Sea Dog does a blueberry lager that is, all right. But no blueberry beer has ever been good. But Sam Adams has decided to put a blueberry lager in their summer variety pack this year
In a can,
in a can.
which might take away from the flavor.
It's not going to help it. But
Some aluminum in there. Yeah.
I'm excited to see if just maybe Sam Adams has cracked the blueberry lager.
Code.
Yeah.
They've cracked the code.
And I'm really hoping they have, because I could go for a tasty blueberry summer beer, because in my mind it makes sense.
you should get Double J to put blueberries in the cider.
I've had blueberry infused ciders that work. It's just the damn beer. Something about blueberry just doesn't work with beer. But Sam Adams has always done a good job of making middling beers that kind of work.
I'm just watching Stuart.
I don't know what he's doing.
Pour 20 cc's in each cup multiple times.
Yeah, he's managed to just.
Well, because there's 4 of us, there's only 3 beers.
Yeah, but then you managed to make. Well, fine. Let's just bring him home.
I'm going to read the description really quick.
Let's do it.
Summer means it's Sam season, bursting with bold blueberry aroma. This refreshing lager is your perfect cooler companion for every sunny adventure.
Okay.
Like hashing.
It smells good.
So, well, they said aroma. They didn't say flavor. They said
it
aroma.
smells.
And on the nose, boy, howdy,
It does smell.
like blueberry. But what's the flavor going to do? Can it finally get over the hump?
That's pretty blueberry.
That's, boy, we've done it again, blueberry.
They should have called it blueberry, like the old cereal.
That might have worked. Now, I can't pass judgment on one sip because, everything changes, especially when you're coming from a light beer,
Yeah, you and flavor.
Yeah. No, it does mellow out on the second sip. It's a little, boy. I'm speechless. Like, that's not good or bad. I don't know what that is.
Like that was my first thought. Is it's not bad.
No.
It's not good.
But on a scale of 1 to 5 under the microscope of a deli,
It's
it
it was all blueberry at first, and then the second, third sip, it just kind of disappears.
when I just washed the zin out of my mouth, so that
Yeah, I had to
Yeah,
cleanse the palate.
The third sip is
You're just kind of like, is there?
yeah, blueberry lagers, I tell you, man, it's a special kind of treat. Ain't nobody.
so.
It's the hardest thing to do. If I open a brewery, I'm just going to call it blueberry, and I'm going to figure this shit out. And I'll be broke by Tuesday.
So on the false trail of the hashing, you go into the wrong turn, and it's nothing but blueberry lager.
But all different flavors.
You have to shotgun it.
And if you find the good one, on the bottom, it tells you which way to go.
It's like the Holy Grail in Indiana Jones. It's like you just go through and you got to find the right one, and all the rest of them might kill you.
Okay. I think I've got my opinion. I think I know where I am on this.
Not good, but
Not bad.
You're saying there's a chance.
It's our average beer. I mean, so Painter. 2.5 is our
it, Jim.
is our average beer, and 5 is the best beer, and we've never had a 5. We've had some 4.5s, or 1. Maybe Guinness is 4.5.
You know what? Well, Guinness in my mind's a 5, but nothing ever gets ranked.
Right.
5. Well, hey,
So 2.5 is a
average beer.
average.
Middle of the road.
So I can tell you,
This one's just kind of weird. Like, what's the weird point value?
it's so deli stands for does everybody like it? And so this is like a universal score you're going to give it. Like if you could walk into a room, you're like, this beer is X. Here's what I can tell you about this beer. If you really love blueberries, boy howdy, you're going to fucking love this because it's full of blueberries, but not them wild blueberries, the ones that have just a little bit of flavor and are full of antioxidants. This is the fucking blueberry. That's the big plump blueberry, but made by Jolly Rancher. And it fucking is not full of nutritional value, and it's just not fucking right. And the weird thing is, on the back end, there's this weird brightness that doesn't belong, and I don't know what that is. It's almost like a creaminess. I got it.
It's mead.
Frozen yogurt.
Oh,
It almost tastes like a blueberry frozen yogurt to me. That is the flavor profile that I get more so than anything else.
That's a good call.
I mean, I go weird. And don't let me sway you anything you're saying. But I think that it's a little too sweet. It's easily drinkable though. It's barely recognizable as a beer because the blueberry is a little bit over the top. But it's a little froyo for me. And I'm gonna put it dead nuts down the middle. It could be a 3, but I'm a dead nuts down the middle, 2.5.
do you think the blueberry flavor is authentic, or does it taste chemically?
I think it's got a hair of insincerity.
I'll go next. I'm not blueberry's my least favorite berry, and berries in general are low on my list. So The first sip definitely had like you said, a Jolly Rancher quality to it. It definitely fades over time. It has I think a candy aftertaste, like super sweet. I could see someone loving it, but probably limiting it to a 3 or 3.5. It's not my thing. Personally, for me, it's a 2.5, but I could see it being between a 2.5 and a 3 based on the audience that is consuming it.
Yeah, if I was a 16-year-old,
Backstage.
And it was free.
this is definitely a 3.5.
And it was the beer that the band didn't want anymore. So.
Yeah, they were like, "Here, kid, get the fuck out of here." I'd be like, "Yeah,
I would never.
Nirvana gave me a blueberry beer."
I would never recommend it to anyone unless they are the biggest blueberry fan in the world, and I will never buy it.
It's definitely a novelty. It's one of those ones where you would have one and then be like, "Yeah, I tried it," and then you would probably never buy it again. Like that's kind of where I'm coming from. I'll go 2.5 also.
Oh God, this beer is just kind of middle its way to middle.
And I think Sam Adams knew that because they're not really putting a whole lot into the marketing. Mm-hmm. It's just, hey, it's a blue can.
It's test market.
All right, how much marketing do they put in their Boston Lager?
Exactly.
I love Stu. He's always like, "I'm in the marketing."
No, this is the hot chick until she started talking.
Damn, that looks good.
Exactly.
She
It
sucks.
smelled great.
God,
It tasted
she's an
great
idiot.
at first, and then it just faded away. So
Won't stop texting.
that
me.
is no, like it smelled. It blueberries the first taste. I mean, you guys all hit it. Like it's. I mean, it just fades, and I keep trying to drink it and say I want more flavor, and it's not coming. So I'm going to give it a.
Just like the hot girl.
Come on,
yeah,
come on,
I'm going to give it a 2.
Oh, oh, he took it down a peg. This thing's gonna net out at like a 2.38 something.
Yeah. No,
God,
it's-
he crushed it.
So
I just don't.
back to the marketing, I would say that the Cold Snap can looks strikingly similar to the blue
Yeah, but-
blue tones that are on the
Painter, what do you think about Cold Snap?
Cold Snap is one of my ones that I actually do enjoy.
I seek it out
Yeah,
every spring.
for real. I mean,
I go get
the
it.
bottles,
I'm excited.
and yeah,
So I don't think they're putting any less effort into this can.
yeah.
Like that's just okay. What do we got? What do we got in here? Because this is,
That's the summer ale can,
which is a classic winner.
and this is the American.
The American Light,
Light.
which is literally tastes like a Bud Light. It's really
All they did is they changed the color on the can.
no. They put blue in it.
Right. This is yellow. They're just let's change the colors up. Let's put blue with.
Yeah,
blue.
but they did this like two-tone Malone thing.
They're cheating you.
I think it's well, what is it? It's like a mountain range.
Oh, is that what they're going for
I
there?
think so. With the like distant mountains. I think.
Oh yeah, that does look like the Suck Mountain Range.
And you've been
that's
to
where
the
the-
Suck Mountain Range how many times?
And that's where the blueberries came from, apparently.
Yeah, actually, the first hash race was run in the Suck Mountains.
There's a hash race being run right now on that can.
I can see that, and it's all dead ends.
Yeah.
False Trail.
There's a beacon with
Who wants the full beer?
Nobody wants that.
Any
Could I-
takers for the
could
full
I-
beer?
Could I have a Miller Lite? One of those new light beers from Miller. I've heard so much about.
Call me in 6 months when you have this. It's gonna be sitting in your cooler.
So for the last 2 weeks, I've been going down this road of trying to clear out all the deli losers, because that is the unfortunate part about living just on the other side of the yard of the Pallet House, is every losing deli just collects. Thank you, Stu. And I end up just having like 4 shitty beers, 3 shitty beers, and then at some point I have to purge them. And so I think that's actually what part of was leading up to, like, all right, now I need to like cleanse and like start cutting weight, because I've been drinking winter fucking ales in June. It's been awesome. Oh, you know what else I've been doing that's been super fun? You guys ever mess around with bald-faced hornets?
Are they in your yard?
We'll get there. Nobody has experience with a bald-faced hornet?
Nope.
So a bald-faced hornet is a black and white hornet.
Oh, I've seen this one. Yeah, the black. Yeah.
They are feisty little fuckers.
Yeah.
And I got a bald-faced hornet nest that just popped up. And when I mean popped up, I mean, damn. It went from 0 to like full infestation in like a week under my nose. And it showed up right under my electrical meter.
Oh, yeah. What's out of
So
the house?
like right on the side of my house, but right there where the cars park and where you come out of the garage and like
Just to greet you in the morning.
just a high traffic area.
Say, hey.
The dogs are there, the kids are there, the wife's there. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. And I'm out there washing a car and like, sure are a lot of weird black and white hornets around. And then I look down and there's this softball sized nest that has just shown up. I don't know, probably a little bigger, more like a mini basketball. I guess probably the.
Interesting.
I don't know anything about, I mean, I've heard the name before, but are they hanging or are they on the ground? Like in a.
Hanging.
Okay.
Apparently, they have code for bald-faced hornets is 3 feet off the ground and higher. That's their living code, and so they took 3 feet. And these motherfuckers went to the
Right
minimum,
there.
minimum, right beneath eye level, so I'm not seeing it. And they just slowly built, and made this colony, and I just started noticing a lot of these things, and they have like this weird like white stripe on their face, but then on the back, it is black and white striped. It's actually a badass looking. It's kind of like the Ferrari of hornets. I was actually kind of impressed. I was like, you guys are fucking awesome.
So what are we talking? Are they like a
just-
typical hornet or like the big guys?
No, he's your typical. It's not a murder hornet.
Gotcha.
The murder.
They're actually wasps.
Oh,
They're just called the bald-faced hornet.
see, misunderstood from jump. These things are sketchy as shit. So I started doing some like research. Like, all right, well, how do I remove a bald-faced hornet's nest?
Seek professional help.
Every single Reddit thread I go down is like, seek professional help. But I've got this like,
Thing in the back of your head that says, no, I don't need that.
well, no, because I've got this like, in my mind, I don't want to pay a man to come do a job that I should be able to do. There's certain things I can't do. Like certain electrical projects, I'm like, I'm out. But like,
But the ones where I can get venom injected in me, I'm in.
It's just venom.
What are the side effects?
here's a real cool thing about
Let's
bald
see.
face
You
hornets.
might die. Well, that's not a big deal.
They can squirt their venom into your eyes, causing temporary blindness.
You just read this.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a super cool trait they have. They can actually strike you from a distance. A bald-faced hornet is a specialized sniper of a hornet or wasp.
Brendan's no longer trying to get rid of them. He's like, I'm going to grow these, culture, I'm going to pet them, love them.
If I could train them, if I could own them, and I had a bald-faced hornet wasp like cloud behind me, I'd be a supervillain or hero, depending on how I choose to use my powers. Probably villain though, because these things are dangerous as fuck. The other thing that I love about them is they have a smooth stinger. Apparently, a lot of creatures have stingers that are like serrated, so when they go into you and they pull it out,
They
the
die.
stinger stays in you, and then it hurts them. Not these fuckers.
They don't-
They can sting you over and over and over, and that very smooth stinger just comes right back out, ready for the next shot. Venom
Damn.
galore. But my favorite part is that they can actually shoot
Venom.
at you and cause temporary blindness, and that's one of their tricks. They'll come up to the bear and blind this fucker.
I thought you were a twink.
It's the summer. I don't have a beard.
Ah, okay.
They can blind you and then go and use their super silky smooth stingers and just work you. So one hornet can work you many, many times. But I had many hornets, which is super cool. But then the trait that really freaked me out is I'm going down this road. People are like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't knock it down. Don't fuck with it. Because they have facial recognition. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, so that's, yeah.
If you go over there and you knock the nest down and these motherfuckers see you, there are people on Reddit who are like, dude, I'm not kidding. Like 2 weeks later, I'm on the yard and like these
that
hornets
asshole
come down
again.
at me because they'll go rebuild a nest and talk about you all night.
Hey, look, it's Brendan. Let's go. Come on.
Should be
Yeah.
called
He's
the
back out.
ex-girlfriend wasp.
It kind of is. It's the psycho ex-girlfriend wasp. and it's a problem. So now I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, fuck, do I need to like call in professional help? But again, I feel emasculated if I do that. So like I didn't want to do that.
So would it be right to assume that professional help comes in with a mask
Yes.
that nobody recognizes
Shields
anybody,
the face identity.
and they just bag it up and take it out of there?
Actually, it says they wear a wig and a fake mustache.
It's a good start.
Put a costume on.
No, I
Good.
watched all these like YouTube videos, and the best is the exterminators love to hype this shit up.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
because then they're going to charge you $1,000 instead of $150.
And
So
they're
wait,
like, I
like
feel
the bat
comfortable
guy.
doing this because I'm going to leave and go 10 miles away where they won't find me.
Who can
But
we
you
a-
shouldn't do that.
Who can we ask the professional to dress up as to go knock it down?
I thought about all these options. Literally,
I don't
dressing
like
up.
so and so. Can you dress up like this and go knock it down?
Yeah, get a mask of like your enemy, or just
Print it out and put the
yeah.
color printout on your face.
stick it on your face and go knock that bitch down one good time.
Like of your wife, you know, you just go,
You just like, damn, babe, I don't know why they don't like you.
oh shit, I don't know what
That
happened.
is some inside baseball right there from the painter.
Exactly.
Your kid gets in trouble, be like, I'm not going to ground you, but all summer you're going to have to be dodging hornets because I wore a mask out and knocked this shit down. No,
It's a setup.
it was sketchy. So I studied them for a couple days, which is also called working up the nerve and doing all the research I could on these
Letting them see your face over and over again.
as non-hostile.
Oh, hey, buddies.
Going over there, washing cars. Like, look at me.
Here's some water, guys.
Yeah.
Here, there's a flower for you.
Not doing a damn thing.
I'm
I'm
peaceful.
totally harmless. And apparently they don't get super aggressive until later in the summer.
Oh,
So apparently this mini basketball sized nest I had,
How many are we talking about in this nest?
God knows.
Hundreds?
I don't know. Well, I know there was a lot of larvae.
Oh,
Because I've been inside the nest now. I've seen some shit. So I studied them for like a day and I drank on it. Stared at it and drank. And
what's
stared
the entomology of this?
and drank at it, drank on it at all hours.
should
And
we have this door open?
Yeah, exactly.
You're fine.
I think
Okay.
they're out there right now.
We got professional help.
Okay.
Troy, he's got your face on. He put a mask on of you.
Yeah.
Please do not come back anytime soon.
Come on back, Troy. But so I was out there and like, I drank on it for a while. And then I noticed that after like 10 o'clock, you don't see them coming in and out anymore. They're very much like going to bed. And at 12 o'clock,
That's when you get the gasoline out.
at 12 o'clock, there's no movement. And the bald-faced hornets sleep like buggers because they're very tired from going out and killing shit all day.
And spraying venom.
Yeah. So the next day,
Damn,
I'm
I'm
continuing
tired.
to read, and I'm just getting more freaked out and more freaked out. And I was like, you know what? I can't leave anything to be seen. So I came up with a costume.
Oh, God.
I can show you my look. This is my fit.
Makes great pod.
Oh, chaps. Nice. Jesus Christ. I wasn't far off.
That dude's doing work. So what I did,
Can I describe that?
Imagine Woody with a gas mask.
Cowboy hat, gas mask, frilly collar,
Looks like
that
COVID.
is a full jumpsuit. It's a military jumpsuit.
like
That's
motorcycle
Desert
gloves.
Storm.
Exposed ears and cheeks, though.
Oh yeah, can't win them all.
Look at the gloves.
Man.
Oh yeah, those gloves are legit.
Is that hazmat? Does that hazmat suit have some thickness to it, or is it just
Oh, yeah,
like
no.
wearing a long sleeve?
That is a military surplus store. I got a buddy who works on a nuclear sub, and he has all this shit at his house. And I was over there one day, and I was like, "Damn, Tom, those are fucking dope. Like, look at that." And he's like, "Man, these are the best." He's like, "Nothing can get through this." He's like, "I use this when I'm clearing brush in case I come." I was like, "Well, can I get a couple of them?" So now I got these like military grade.
Nice.
And that particular
So
one
do
is-
you get to go back to him and now say, it didn't work?
I'm not welted.
No, okay. Yeah.
So I realized that they have, something touched my head. That did just freak me out real quick. They're like, heard you were talking shit. So I got this stuff called Hot Shot, like a wasp and hornet killer you get from like Home Depot.
Shoots like 15 feet away.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, apparently I didn't know they have foaming ones and stuff, but the problem with the bald-faced hornet is they have a hole on the bottom. It looks like
Butthole.
like
Oh my God. What is flying around?
yeah, some kind of creature that's given birth way too many times. Like it's on his, and so you kind of have to get up and like spray it up in the hole, which is like problematic.
This is going off the wheels already.
So I dressed up in this full outfit and I waited till midnight. My wife
Going in.
My wife
going
goes
into
to-
the hole.
Body condom.
My wife goes to bed, and I'm like pacing around, and I like worked myself up, and I walked out. And I went back inside. I had another beer. And like, I was like, all right, I'm doing this. Like, because I figure I got a little bit of time before the whole swarm comes out and starts whooping my ass. But they're going to see a cowboy hat with a full gas mask and like those like yellow lens glasses, like safety goggles, so I could see real well in the night.
Does not compute.
I figure they're going to look at me. The predator is going to be like, I've never seen that before. And they surely won't identify it as the guy who's been out there just washing a Miata in short shorts. Like,
What is it, guys? Is it a dog? I don't know what it is.
it's totally different.
So on your way to the bar, are you going to like change in the car from now on?
So I went out there in the middle of the night and I fucking got up in that hole and backed up and got around the corner to get in the screen report. I'm still just crushing it.
We're still talking about the Hornets, right?
Man, I blasted this thing. I blasted this thing so hard. And I caught him by surprise so bad that I'm not kidding. I had at least 10 seconds of full on poison at 1,000 miles an hour hitting this bitch before they started coming out. And they were coming out tired and high as fuck. and all they see is like some Batman Begins shit. Like they're coming out like, what is that? And they looked woozy. And I got myself at the screening porch, bolted and ran inside. I was like, hell yeah. I'm breathing heavy through my gas mask.
So did they come flying out or they come dropping out?
No, a couple, you could hear the first ones hit like coming out like rain. And I was like, that sucks. And then like, as I'm going around, you could then see the later ones that it hadn't infiltrated. The poison hadn't infiltrated up in there enough.
The reserves got called up.
But this stuff was so powerful because it was so low. It's made for, like I said, 3 feet and up. So like they can be 20 some feet in the air, and this spray is designed to hit a 20-foot up nest.
So you blew the top off.
But I'm like at it. So I'm giving it some horsepower. It's like I ripped the whole face off of this nest.
Ooh.
It was beautiful. I was like, hell yeah, I'm destroying shit. They must have had reserves. It's like I killed the front line. They came out and they were not happy.
Oh, the
They
grunt guys are dead.
They were woozy and fucked up, though. It was bad. Like I said, I had at least 10 seconds of just murder before anything happened. And I ran my ass inside, and then I could hear them like trying to get their shit together still in what's left of the nest. And I was like, I'm going to go inside.
I can envision Brendan coming back out, no PPE, no nothing, and looking at them going, what happened, guys? Wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm having a beer.
Just pointing this way. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
He went that away.
Come on, guys. And this is how I now have a murder hornet wasp cloud. No. So then I went out the next day and you could just see larvae just all up in the honeycomb, and it's still like pupating, doing its fucking thing. And I was like, it needs another shit. Fucking got in there. It worked that bitch another time.
In daylight, or did you wait till midnight?
This is daylight because I'm not seeing any active wasps at this point. I'm just seeing the larva still like in its cocoon that somehow has protected it, I guess. So I'm like, no, you must die. So I'm spraying that all up in there. It was about a 36-hour process of just murdering shit. So then late Sunday afternoon,
What day did you begin the assault?
the assault happened. Well, it's Saturday night. Friday I discovered it.
That's not true because you told me about it last week.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, when
We
did
had this conversation.
Oh, then I discovered it Thursday.
Oh, you discovered it that day.
That would have been the day. Oh, yeah. When we recorded the last podcast, I was like, look at this. So, yeah. So then Friday was research. Saturday was death. But it was late Sunday afternoon that the first murder hornet motherfucker, the bald-faced hornet, I'm not kidding. It came up and it flew up to me and came right at my face and went zzzz and stared at me. And I stared at it in my non-cowboy hat, no gas mask, no goggles face. And I was like, huh. And then motherfucker went, "Mrr," and then bolted. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm clear. It was soon after that I removed the remainder of the nest, double bagged it, threw it in the trash. We are clear.
Nice.
We have no more bald-faced hornets. I have saved money, and my manhood's intact.
Well, that's a hell of a Sunday. So how are you going to top that for Father's Day?
I'll find a way.
Okay.
I'll do some manly shit.
Do that.
Yeah. It was an intense weekend. That like weighed on my mind the whole time. I've never even seen a bald-faced hornet. They are beautiful.
But are they like, I've never seen one, but is it local to Virginia? I mean, like literally?
No,
I mean,
it's all over the southeast.
Is it?
Is it?
So did you have a pile of bodies below it?
Pretty substantial pile of bodies that had fallen out of the nest.
Any survivors like
There was
flopping
one
around?
that wouldn't fucking die, and I watched it for almost 24 hours before I finally put it out of its misery, because I was like, all of a sudden I felt bad about killing that one, but then at the same time I realized I'm just letting it suffer in like a poison coma. But that one was definitely the leader. 'Cause that dude was like, I will kill you. And it just kept moving and trying to move. It's
the Jason Voorhees of
yeah. It was almost sad, but not, because they can partially, temporarily blind you from a distance.
Right.
It's a dangerous hornet. But they're dead. Everyone's safe. Everyone's good here.
He says that now.
until later.
Yeah. I actually moved it to the other side of the pallet house.
When they come back.
But when they come
It's
back,
like a bad horror movie.
here's what I can tell you. Don't show up here in a cowboy hat, gas mask, and fucking goggles. Because if you do,
Well, there goes Friday night.
because that one dude that came back must have just been off on patrol in the middle of the night. Like he got the night shift. And he
And
came
saw
back.
who was doing it.
Is this asshole?
Yeah. He looked right. It was the weirdest. He came right to my face and stared at me. I was like, what is happening? And he was like, moved on. I was like, damn.
Hey, what line did you get the Oilers in for tonight?
1.5.
They're tied.
Yeah, saw that.
I didn't notice that until just now. I got them at plus 2.5.
Ooh, good for you.
Late bet.
Little inside baseball, but yeah, gambling. Gambling's fun.
Is it start of the second or start of the third?
Start of third. But Stuart mentioned Father's Day. You got any plans, BK?
I had plans. I had plans, but weather is not cooperating. I feel like Mother's Day always gets a better deal.
It's more expensive.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But no, I just wanted to go tubing with the family. I was going to try to do like a cool tubing trip and not drive, which is super exciting because all year long when we tube, I'm the driver.
Oof.
Yep.
There's no reciprocity on that one. It's just like you do it.
You should create Tuber. Another business.
That's a good app.
That is a great idea.
A good app for rednecks near rivers. I like it. Yeah, so it's all kind of going to pot. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to end up just kind of sitting out here. U.S. Open on one TV, Cubs game on the other. Watch
That is kind of like the thing. Like on a Father's Day, like if I don't have to do a damn thing, then that's
a win.
let me just sit still.
Yeah, that's kind of
Let me watch 8 hours of useless television.
yeah. I'm going to watch
watch
the
the
U.S.
golf.
Open
Yeah.
and I'm going to watch the Cubs game and I'm going to sit out here and you can watch Dad get drunk. Look how much fun this is.
So NFL season is Father's Days.
Yeah, which is why Mother's Day gets such a run. I mean, you do have to give it to them. I'm not mad at it, but yeah. So that
Dave
was
nailed it.
That was my big thing because the weather's not cooperating for me.
It's always Father's Day in the fall
Yeah,
on Sundays
once a week.
and Saturdays.
Once a week. Oh yeah, twice a week.
Thursdays.
Yeah. College football.
Yeah, it's college football.
Yeah, this is the off season,
Wait,
and so
why
you feel a
is it-
little guilty.
Why is there college football on Tuesday? It's because it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day.
Yeah, 'Tis the season. The leaves are falling, and I'm sitting on my ass. How'd you miss this? Oh,
Sweetie,
leaves are
you
all
have
down?
Wednesday between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m.
One thing I have noticed though is it just means I have to front load all my bullshit. like Friday I gotta like do all the yard work and like do all this like I gotta cram it all into one day. So my wife's like, "What are we doing Friday?" I was like, "Fucking nothing." You know how much work I have to do so I can sit on my ass?
Are you talking about Father's Day or NFL season?
It's all the above.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, unfortunately, this weekend's turning into me like doing a bunch of shit, front loading, so I can sit on my ass.
Have your
But-
kids asked you, what do you want for Father's Day?
It would be inappropriate to tell them what I want for Father's Day because I want mom.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah.
I mean, what do you want for Father's Day?
Socks. That's what she wants.
Your kid's mom.
Father's Day wife swap situation. That'd be weird.
Did you say you wanted sex? I thought you said socks.
I got you socks. They're Bombas. They're good. Cool. Cool. I just wanted fucking eye contact.
I got you some new underwear too. Oh, I did get you underwear for Christmas also. But here's some more underwear.
Why, Dave, what do you have going on for Father's Day? What's the big plan?
Nothing. I just scrambling for a topic.
No, not. I'm gonna go boating on Saturday.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, pretty excited about that.
Joy gave me an early present, a double burner griddle, cast iron
Ooh,
by the Smithy brand.
don't know it, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, very fancy.
Fancier than a Blackstone?
Well, I mean, you put it on. It's made to go on either your grill or your two burners on your stove.
Oh, it can be used
Portable.
anywhere.
Yeah, it has little handles.
Interesting.
Is it stainless steel? Like,
Oh no, cast iron.
oh, cast iron. Okay.
Yes, I saw.
You got to season it.
It comes seasoned.
Oh, really?
And it's so fancy, they smooth it out that when they season it, it turns like this golden bronze color instead of black.
Oh, that's fancy. Okay, I saw a Solo Stove came out with a new griddle this week, and it's stainless steel.
I wonder if it works as well as the heat deflector. Or no, as
The
the
heat deflectors work.
the heat lamp.
No, my tower.
Yes,
The tower.
Tower
heat
heater.
tower.
Yeah, that's a turd. Don't buy the Solo Stove tower heater. Just give me $700. I'll give you $350 back. Now you're winning. Much better deal. Either of y'all got any Father's Day plans? Anybody on this side of the bar?
No, I've got nope. Saturday's going to take all our plans up with my great niece turning 1 year old. So,
Great niece.
It's a great
Old fuck.
niece.
God.
my
How do you
younger-
get a great niece?
when your younger brother has a grandchild.
Boy.
A grandchild.
Easy for you to say.
So no, I was thinking in the back of my head. So the funny thing is that you say you have a great niece, like everybody say, "Oh, I'm a great uncle," but you're really, you go from grandfather. I should be a grand uncle.
It's like,
Well,
it's like
great-
watching,
not a
it's
great
like
well
watching a
said.
beautiful mind at work,
They say because it's my niece and it's my brother's grandchild. They
How do
call
you
me
verbalize that
They
tiny
call me
writing?
great uncle.
this-
I'm the
Oh,
great
yeah.
uncle, but my great grandfather is 2 levels ahead of me.
And he
I should be
wasn't so
I should
great.
be a grand uncle, not a great uncle.
It's like trying to read hieroglyphics.
Yeah, it's a process. To answer your question, I have no plans for Sunday.
Paint, are you painting on Sunday? What are you doing?
How are the watercolors treating you?
I'm going to paint a picture of Stu sitting around doing nothing but sitting on his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Respect. I like that.
That would be great.
It's not bad.
Still life.
It's not bad.
I'm gonna
I
be-
actually have the same plans as you. Just watch the U.S. Open. Try not to do anything.
Yeah, hey, feel free to come over here.
and I'll come up and set up an easel and just paint a paint you guys.
Dude, literally.
The glory.
Painter's like, hold still.
Like, what is that?
Don't move.
Like, it's
Move.
an abstract, but
You
it's
moved.
not.
Wait, there's a killer hornet in here, so we've got to get the hell out of here.
It's just a big lump on our face. Be fucking dope. Yeah, I'm going boating tomorrow though, not on my boat.
I was gonna say you're gonna paddle.
Whose boat?
I got a buddy. He's got a boat down at the boat club there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go out with him on Saturday in the Duke.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna just just putz around. I invited the family. So far, they don't seem enthused, but I invited the family.
You mean he invited the family?
No, I've literally all day been negotiating with the dude to allow my entire family on his boat. No, the offer was fine for me because I bring beer. Like, I'm a great boat guy. I slip you $20 for gas. I get you drunk all day, and then I disappear. Like, I'm a good ride along. But I've been negotiating to get the whole family on the boat. But the family doesn't seem enthused. But I want to be able to like look them in the eyes and say, "But you can go." That's what a good Father's Day thing is. But I can't go in my boat.
I just don't know any teenage girls that don't want to sit on a bow sunbathing.
Yeah.
But I think if mom goes, if I can get mom, then I think I get the girls. Mom seems to somehow be the difficult one.
Weird.
Weird is right.
Troy would have an opinion about that.
Yeah, it'd be wrong. That dude's full of wrong opinions. Now he's going to be upset and we'll get the call. But yeah, unfortunately, my boat's not in a good place.
Where is it? What's wrong with it?
It's
Everything.
It's a 20-year-old jet boat.
Apparently, 20-year-old jet boats are unique creatures. So I dropped this thing off at Keith's Boat Service, which
Keat.
so far it's so good. Like from what I can tell, they've been very honest.
Keith's like you have a C don't.
So when I first dropped my
C maybe.
when I first dropped my boat off at Keith's Boat Service, he said, "I'm not going to have a chance to look at this for 3 to 4 weeks, so don't bother me." And I said, "Fair, Keith." At 3.5 weeks, I got a call. They were like, "Boy, this thing seems fine." And I was like, that's inherently the problem. It's great at starting and going. It's just starting when you stop in the water. It doesn't do. And he was like, "That doesn't make any sense." I was like, figure it out. And he's like, "Well, I tested everything and it's fine."
Oh, no.
He was like, "Do you care if I go driving around on the water?" And I was like,
yes.
"Please do, Keith." Please do. So he took it out on a 40-minute ride. And then he said,
Hopefully he shut it down at the pier.
he's smart.
Okay.
He's smart. Not like me. I like to get way out there in the wilds. Just a man and his oar. So he took it out. He rode it 40 minutes and then he got back.
I can just picture him. He's like, whee!
Yeah. I mean, why not? It's a jet boat. It's rad. And sure enough, he got it back to the dock. He said he cut it off for 10 minutes, did some stuff. And then he's like, "I started it, it fired up, and then died." And I was like, "Oh, and then what?" And he goes, "Then I started up and it wouldn't start." I was like, "Aha." So he's like, "I went through, I checked everything." He's like, "I checked the grounds." I was like, "I already did that." He's like, "Yeah, they're good." I was like, "Yep." He's like, "Check the spark
That'll be
plugs."
$75.
I was like, "Yep, check those." And he goes, "Well, I replaced them for you." I was like,
That'll be
"I appreciate."
$175.
Yeah, that's another one. But I just did that. And
Just to make sure that I cleaned off the steering wheel.
yeah.
That didn't do it. $25.
So far, I know Keith's on the up and up. Because he did all the things I did. So it took him a while to get to a point where now he was beyond my expertise. And he's like, "Turns out your fuel pump's good." I was like, "All right, didn't do that." He's like, "Fuel injectors are good." I was like, "Cool, I didn't do that." Checked all those things. And he's like, "So now I'm into the theory stage."
Oh, that sounds cheap.
So he says this to me: "I need an understanding of how much you want to actually put into this boat, considering what it's worth." And I go, "Oh boy, this is the fun part of the conversation." And he's like, "'Cause I can't quite figure it out, but when I took the ground and I jumped your computer, it started." And I was like, and he goes, "So that tells me your computer is saying that the ground's not working for some reason. Your computer is slowly dying."
Your 20-year-old hard drive.
My 20-year-old fucking hard drive.
So he can't just replace the computer?
So he can.
Okay. But he's not sure that will fix it?
One, we're not sure it'll fix it, but his belief is that the signal from the ground is somehow not computing. So he's like, "I think that's the issue." He's like, "So I could get a new ECU, except for the fact that they don't make those anymore."
Let me interrupt. Is there a theory that heat is swelling or expanding something, making the connection not good? Because it seems to happen very specifically when
Yeah.
it's warm.
Absolutely. We all agree with this. What we have is theories in abundance. We have a shit ton of theories. What we don't have are facts. Everything factual, we have troubleshot and it's good. So now we're in the theoretical range, which is the best way to be.
Spend money.
So he's like, I can fix the ECU. But he's like, but they don't make it anymore. So I have to source one from a junkyard. And I'm like, oh, cool. So how do we know that one's not going? And he's like, boy, you really got to find a good source and hope that they've tested everything in it and that they know it's all good.
And there's no aftermarkets.
No aftermarkets. So then I said,
There's no rebuilders.
because I'm smart, I said, but it's a jet ski. Just pull an ECU off a jet ski. Throw it in there, make it goes. He's like, unfortunately, that particular boat you have has a couple other things going on that aren't in all the jet skis because it's a jet boat. And it has to be able to process all of that information too. So you need a very specific computer. And he's like, but you're the first generation when they went from 2-stroke to the 4-stroke. So they made this for a couple years and then they troubleshot and they figured out these things fucking suck and they fixed them 3 years later. So you're in this dead zone of these ECUs. And I was like, oh, this is getting fun. So now he's like, so I have sourced one and it's $1,800. And I was like, so that's not the one for us. And he's like, I understand that.
Did your boat ever, did you ever take it for a 40-minute ride and shut it down, start it up 10 minutes later with success?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a season.
Okay.
And it was fine.
Okay.
Now this is developed.
Interesting.
So he's like, I can try to find one. And he's like, and I can keep looking until I find one cheaper. He's like, but there's none on eBay currently. There's none here. And there's none from any of my parts suppliers. And I was like, this is going great. So now my boat is just sitting in a lot, waiting for his person to find a source that happens to find an 04 to 06 Sea-Doo Sportster ECU.
It's funny you mentioned that because not on the boat side, but my Impala has the exact kind of same issue where the hard drive that does the navigation, it does the radio, and does the backup camera from a 2014 Impala, it went out. And I went to the Chevy dealership and they're like, hey, it's going to be $1,500 to replace. I was like, no way. Fuck that shit.
For some prongs and a circuit board.
So I go to Southern Electronics and I go to Car Toys and like, oh yeah, we can get you an aftermarket part, but all in, you're going to be $1,000. And then I went to Southern Electronics and like, oh, we can get the original hard drive. But
map it onto this.
But then you have to go back to the dealership and they have to reprogram it. So it's $700 for the part, but then it's another $300 to $400 go back to the Chevy dealership and redo it. And I was like, okay, that's great. But then the guy says, but that year they had 7 different radio suppliers. So we don't know
2 different
which
for mine.
we don't know which one it is until you get in there. And it could be anywhere from 1,100 to like, I was like, fuck. So I have a JBL Bluetooth speaker right now in my car. I just want to listen to some tunes.
So I'm in a world of shit, and I'm waiting until they come back and tell me like, we found one and here's the price on the maybe, and I got to figure out how much I'm willing to spend on a maybe.
Yeah. It's gambling. You should love it.
I love boats.
And
having
gambling.
so much fun. It's so much fun. It's the fastest boat on the water when it's going. And I can get it to go. I just can't get it to start after I stop.
Oh, it's no fun.
I've got a theory as to what the problem is.
Oh,
I think I've solved it.
Oh, this
Operator
this
error?
is either going to piss me off or it's going to be good. Because I don't know if you're serious or not.
No, really, it's the bald-faced hornets. They've gone in there and they've nested in your circuit board thing.
They were like,
Connecting your circuit.
either way, the guy that killed us is in that yellow ass boat.
He's going to drown just like he made us drown in that.
Could you imagine?
It's that one.
All of a sudden it stalls out and then a swarm of hornets comes over the berm like, no!
Facial recognition successful.
What was that?
Yep.
What was the movie where the president's in the water and Russell Crowe's like his protector and all those drones come in and they... I'm trying to remember. But
Nobody knows.
Pew, pew. Yeah. Pew, pew. Never mind. Olympus.
In my mind, this is like fat Russell Crowe too.
No, it was
Yeah, Olympus. There was a movie
or
something.
something. Yeah,
Olympus.
he's protecting the president. The drones do exactly what he's explaining.
Well, I'm super psyched, dude. Boat ownership's been great. So I'm going to go out on another dude's boat for Father's Day. Was the whole point of that story.
So my brother's boat
That's
ownership.
manly, by the way. Taking your family out on another dude's boat.
For some reason, I'm willing to cross that bridge, but not the other.
So my
On
brother
a
got
lighter note, I could sell the Rockford Fosgate system in it for a shit ton of money.
was that? Did you put that in afterwards?
Fuck yeah, dude. It's the banging system.
They
That
still
is-
make Rockford Fosgate?
Yes.
That's still out there? Damn. It's been going strong.
Yeah, it's
I
the
used to
good
have
shit.
the Alpine in my car in high school.
Hell yeah, you got to put the Rockford Fosgate subs in there.
I had Serwin Vega subs in the back.
Oh,
That
you
was,
weren't playing around.
Yeah, that was a.
Isobaric, Solobaric, which way'd you go?
I had a Mazda RX-7, and I had the subwoofers firing into the side of the vehicle. A lot of people went straight up into the windshield, but the sun dried out the speaker, so you had to fire it to the
Smart.
side. And the way that car was designed, I actually built. This is totally redneck.
Custom built box?
I custom built boxes for people's cars in the 80s.
The painter does
And
it all, doesn't it?
yeah, man. And then I mounted amps on.
I don't
there
even know
and
what isobaric means.
No, but there was
Has to do with the way the air flows.
we somehow figured with the box, the space inside was like the cubic inches or something like that. But you had to port it also. You had to have a PVC pipe port a certain length for the subwoofer to hit a certain way. And we figured all this shit out like when I was
This is pre-internet
16.
too. You know what I mean?
I don't even know
Yeah.
how we figured this stuff out. And then I took
He read it in the Crutchfield magazine.
yeah, the Crutchfield, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, Crutchfield.
You get the Crutchfield magazine, you're smoking a clove, going, I think I got this, man.
Had the Alpine cassette and CD player stacked on top of each other.
That would be a double din.
Yeah, man. Right. Equalizer up there. Yeah.
So you had a classic RX-7. You had the one that looks like a Porsche, like 944.
1982.
Yeah, that's the best RX-7 ever made.
It was did not have a sunroof. That was my one disappointment in that car, but everything else was stick shift, 5-speed.
Nice. Yeah, not enough power, but enough.
Rotary
the
engine,
rotary
man.
engine just revs up and goes.
That's
yeah,
right.
No,
man. Like,
that's it's a dope car.
It was. I worked at a seafood restaurant in South Boston, Virginia.
Smelled like fish, too much bass.
Yeah, and
You were
bleach.
getting all that.
Smelled like bleach and ammonia and fish.
I love inland seafood restaurants. They are the best.
The best.
So there was this kid in the prep area in the back where they like prepped all the smelly seafood for the fryer or whatever, but like he's like, ain't no way that car's got a 4-barrel in it. And I was like, actually it does. And he was like, nah. And I walked him out of the parking lot, popped the hood and was like, there's your 4-barrel. He was like, well, God damn.
I love carburetor talk, dude. Fucking respect. Dude, that's
You could pop the clutch on that thing too, man. Pull it out of the high school, rev it up to about 6 on the RPMs, and pop it out. Get second gear.
90 horsepower fury.
those things were underpowered but quick as fuck. They were like, it's a very strange. Actually, Mazda's good for that. It made an entire career out of that.
Was that a Hornet?
I think it was a mosquito.
Just don't tell my wife. Mosquito people will be back out here tomorrow. And then I'll get another one fired. The mosquito people fire us every season. It's the most interesting thing I've ever seen.
Is it because you have too many? They just can't.
They all guarantee that they'll do a respray if you get bit. And it takes literally one bite. And she's like, respray. And calls them. And they start losing money on our account. And then they fire us at the end of every season or mid-season. And then we have to get a new one. The good news is people keep thinking that mosquito extermination companies are a get-rich-quick. I stewed it.
Yep.
Get-rich-quick
They're always
scheme.
starting new ones.
Yeah. And then my wife just runs them out of business.
Landmine. Look out for that house.
Bro,
Don't do it. They're all in like a group text.
That's why I got to go in and do the job and get rid of them bald-faced hornets. You know? Because I know I'll do it right.
Just open your own business.
I'm a killer.
And you know what bald-faced Hornet eats? Mosquitoes.
Dude, all the stuff that you want to. No, they eat all kinds of like horse flies and shit. Like I was like looking at all the stuff they eat, and I'm like, I mean, they are kind of beneficial. And they're like, and we'll blind your kids. And I'm like, oh gosh, but I hate fucking horse flies.
Oh, horseflies are the worst.
Yeah, so I was like really having to work through some stuff.
Have any of you guys have you had bats where you had to get the bat extinguisher dude to come out, and it was $1,000? Like
I did that once myself.
what? You got
Yeah.
the bats out of there?
I got the bats out of
Damn.
my chimney. My chimney had
I think
moved.
you need to have
like,
your own company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to kill tons of shit. My chimney had moved like an inch or two from my old house, and all the bats were like lined up in there,
Oh yeah.
and they would come out in droves, and it was
7:30, 8 o'clock.
it was beautiful
Came
to
out.
watch. But my wife was like rabies, and I was like, yeah, a valid point.
Guano.
Next.
So I would spend days intimidating them with the hose, spraying it in there, and get them to come out.
Water guns work really well too.
So I waited till they flew out one night, and then I sprayed the shit out of it to get any like little ones like laggards. And then I went up and I like foamed it all in. So like they came home and the
God
house
damn
was
it, we
gone.
can't get back in here. All right, let's just bore through this other section.
So now we actually have a bat house out here on like right here.
There you go.
The crazy thing is that
Just like you can live here.
as a homeowner, you can take care of your bat problem any way you want to. But if you call somebody, and you could double check me on this, but if you call a professional to come out and take care of the bats, if it's between like, I think it's like July and September when they're breeding, because bats are actually protected in Virginia, they won't come. That like, I had a house that I'd listed and it had a bat issue, and we called a guy and he's like, I can't come out and do anything for you because right now it's the time where we're not allowed.
So there's like a bat season.
Yeah, there's a bat like it's, and they're like, you
But
can't
then
touch them. But if you're a homeowner and you don't know about it, ball them up and make a cocoon.
Yeah, I
out of it.
just foam that bitch up. I love expanding foam. I expand foam all kinds of orifices.
I'm more concerned about your fireplace or a chimney pulling away from your
I
house.
sold the house.
That sounds really expensive.
somebody else's problem
Sold the
now.
house.
They didn't catch that on the inspection.
Faulty chimney and bats.
The inspector caught a lot of shit, but not the foam foaming out of the chimney cap.
Jesus.
Looks good.
I drive by the house all the time.
To Brendan's good, fireplaces in the state of Virginia, it doesn't matter what they are. Structurally, yes, that's an issue, but outside of that, it's an as is, and it's up to the buyer to inspect and take care of it. So you're good.
Yeah, see? It's not the fire, it's not the chimney that moved, it's the house. Exactly. The chimney's fucking structurally sound. It's made of brick,
It's
dude.
just settling in. It's fine.
And settle it is.
So we had a woodpecker. Have you ever had a woodpecker
Hate a wood.
peck on the side of your house?
Hate a wood.
So we had a cedar shake.
I got one.
No, not. I'm sorry. We had a Tudor and the stucco paneling. That's where I pulled a stew and said the wrong word. All right.
He's getting it. The painter is in.
He's a veteran.
Oh,
So-
shit.
Where have you been?
So we hear this like, they're like pecking at the siding and stuff, and I was like, what the hell? And I'm out mowing the grass like 2 weeks later, and I look up and there's a giant hole in the side of my house. I'm like,
Yep.
these assholes like poked a hole in my, and I was like, damn it, what do we do with that? I didn't think much of it, and so that was a doorway for the bats. All the bats just went right on in.
That sounds
and
great.
They all went in there, and when I was like, went in the attic one time, and I was like, oh motherfuck, the bats are everywhere in here. And,
Might I recommend expanding foam? I have multiple holes in the side of my home right now in my
Sounds like-
attic that with expanding foam in them.
it sounds like an advertising opportunity. Like sponsors out there, you should hear this podcast.
I'll finish with this. The worst house ever had inspected was, so naturally you get wasps that can get in your attic. This house had like
Yeah.
2 wasp nests we opened up, and then so here's the wasp. Well, what follows the wasp? The bats. The bats had nested in the same like kind of chimney area.
Yep.
And then I look a little further. This is just me going up to the attic. I see wasp nests over here. I see bats over here.
Flying squirrels.
And then the next thing I know, there's like 6 snakes in the corner.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Because it's a wasp, then a bat, and then the snakes come for the bats. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
It's a full ecosystem.
Yeah, it was an ecosystem. I was like, well, this is
And Christmas ornaments.
true. I called my home inspector. He's like, yeah, that's how it happens. I was like, oh shit.
Damn,
Well,
dude.
you got a big problem now.
Well, on that pleasant note,
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
yeah, we're at hour 40. We've given them more than they need, when they deserve.
You can't stop when you got a wide brush painting everything.
I know. The painter's just been wide brushing us all night, and we just keep going. It's very interesting.
A lot of happy trees.
A lot of happy trees. Oh, man.
Really happy trees.
Missed the opportunity for Ross.
Yeah.
Damn it. Whatever. Painter's in forever. That's how that works. Now, hey, Painter, thank you for coming out, man. I hope this was enjoyable for you.
Very enjoyable. Thank you very much for having me.
I dig it. Stu, welcome back.
Hey, I appreciate it. Had the time.
You are the squeezing lemons of this podcast. You just showed up out of nowhere, just dropped an episode on us. Like you were never gone. And I appreciate that, Captain. That's always good. To everybody out there who needs a pair of sunglasses, why don't you head over to nectarsunglasses.com, drop ITPH in the coupon code. You'll get 20% off what is already a reasonably priced pair of sunglasses. It is summer, so polarized sunglasses is probably not a bad idea. If you haven't had a chance to get a mortgage or a refinance, well, then you don't own a home, or you're looking to get a home. But either way, you should head over to screendoormortgage.com and ask for Jimmy. Jimmy will take care of you. He'll give you... not allowed to say it.
Nope.
He'll just make what is a difficult experience very easy. The man knows his shit. People don't understand how much stress we're under right now.
Are you allowed to say he knows this shit?
Yes!
Okay.
Because that's a fact.
That's a great call to action.
That's a fact.
And listen, if next Father's Day, Nectar sunglasses will make a great gift.
That's true. It's not too late now. Nope, it is. It's come out on Sunday.
And a disguise for bald-faced hornets.
Which is also a good idea. There you go. If you have topics, please send them over to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We would certainly appreciate the help. Jeez. If you know where to get an ECU on a 2004 Sea-Doo Sportster without the supercharger, just the one engine, not the two engine, because God forbid.
Call Keith.
Then yeah, but don't call Keith, call me. Give me a deal and I'll sell it to Keith for a little more. That's how we do it. We're going to make money on this deal. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
Ooh, pre-recorded.
Peace out, Chris.
That's an old throwback. I dig it.
Any last words, Painter?
Peace out.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's two of them now.
Wait, out, peace. Oh, wait, I mixed up my words.
Uh-oh. It's Dave time.
It's all good with me to read.
Painter, you never go full stew.